Okay, guys, so first and foremost, one of the things I really want to kind of drill home today, okay, is the fact that when you have a real system, even if you have a business doing $1 million a month right now, where let's say you have a business doing $1 million a month or you have a business doing $0 a month, this is going to, what I'm going to show you guys today is going to be able to generate consistent revenue for you. Okay, now, whether you're a coach, consultant, course creator, agency owner, whatever it is, even if you're selling physical products, okay, big brands who have physical product presence, okay, this is going to be great to increase your consumer support and brand presence as well. So this is not only for e-commerce brands, it's also for, and mainly for, service-based and lead flow-based businesses, okay? So where are we at in terms like monthly rev? So if we're doing 0 to 20K a month, can you raise your hand? 0 to 50K a month, 0 to 100K a month, 0 to 500K a month. Okay, 0 to $1 million a month. Okay, to $2 million a month. $3 million a month. Okay, this is going to be a major part in any of these businesses. So what I want to let you guys know today is like ask questions, like interrupt me, ask seriously. I want you guys to get as much out of this as possible. I've done this for Panda Express affiliates, or I've done this for the quarterback of the Jets in my project with them in one of my fitness companies. And we've done this for huge, huge, huge name brands, okay? So I want you guys to understand that the result comes in the simplicity of it, okay? But the result also comes in with the consistency of utilizing it, okay? So simplicity and then consistency are the 2 points I want you guys to really just remember about this system, because if you're actually doing this every single day, I promise you, I have people who are, there's Rishi Panchal, if you guys know him, he started a funding business. He's one of my clients, right? Had no business. Right now, he's crushing it, closing lots of money, every single month from zero, no assets, nothing with this system. I've done it for coders, right? I've done it for Panda Express affiliates, my QB Jets client. It doesn't matter what you have. Okay, so ask questions and just please understand that the difference between this crushing it for you is you keeping it consistent, okay, and you actually moving forward and understanding that it needs to stay simple. So, does anyone here have a Facebook group? How big is it?
85.
85?
Started last.
85K?
No, 85 people.
Okay, and that's amazing. Let's talk about it like that. The first common misconception about Facebook groups is so many people think that they're dead, you can't use them, they're not consistent, the reach is not there. And look, I love that narrative because my groups, they stay crushing it. We're making really solid monthly cash flow through the BSF business, right? And it's important that we understand whether you have 85 people or 85,000 people in a group, okay, we need to start looking at them as leads and no longer like members or views or things like that. Because if we could go ahead and nail this down, okay, for example, BSF, we don't have millions and millions of YouTube subscribers. I have equity in a lot of companies that do, and BSF makes a lot more than a lot of these, almost every single company that has millions and millions of YouTube subscribers. It's not about the views, okay? It's about actually realizing that the person is a lead and they're a real person. So let's start off here. First and foremost, if you don't have a Facebook group yet, no matter what you're doing, you should build one. Because the difference here is this is not going to be going into your existing revenue. This is not part of your existing system, your existing process. This is literally a whole new lead acquisition system that you could bolt onto your frickin' business, which is pretty dang cool. I've been doing this, not this, but I've been selling online since I was 14, right? I'm 27 today, okay? I became a millionaire at 23. I do nothing, ask my girlfriend, I do nothing but work, build systems, scale my companies, edit my companies, struggle in my companies, every single day of my life, nothing else, okay? And that's not an exaggeration. With that being said, over the last 7 to 8 years, I've been following this system, okay? And this specifically is my writing. It's on an iPad. And I want to walk you guys through how it works, okay? But I want to explain it in very, very direct tonality so you guys understand what it is, and I don't just kind of throw this at you and say, hey, go do this. So first and foremost, on the left-hand side here, we have our traffic sources, okay? These are all traffic sources. It could be anything that you really want. It doesn't matter what it is. These are just examples of traffic sources. So Facebook profile for me is phenomenal. I've been posting on Facebook for years now, right? And Facebook just came out with this new actual optimization or add-on or bell and whistle that if you start to get really good consistency with your post, they're going to put you in increased engagement, right? Which means that you're literally going to be able to get top max engagement like it's 2017 again, which is pretty cool. And that's valuable. So one of the most important things to realize is you're going to need your Facebook profile, okay? So this event here today is for coaches, consultants, agency owners, et cetera. Like, I know you guys are e-commerce, but you're also probably looking to get in some sort of info space or whatever. Everyone here is info-based, correct? Okay, because this is so important. And now that I know that, I want you guys to really, really just pay attention to everything I say here. Okay, so Facebook profile is phenomenal. You need to have a Facebook profile. Okay, write down Justin Wall, copy his profile setup. Just copy my profile setup verbatim, okay? Literally where every button is, where every group is, where every post is, where every pin is, copy it verbatim, okay? This has done well over 8 figures for me, okay? In my own companies, not someone else's company, okay? In my own companies, and I don't even know how much it made for all my other clients. It's like probably 9 figures, okay? Now, with that being said, IG, other Facebook groups, YouTube, TikTok, live events, paid media. Okay, the most important thing here is understanding Instagram is a phenomenal lead source, obviously, right? Other Facebook groups are the best lead source when you're starting off from 0 or maybe only have like a few hundred members, okay? What you want to do here, and I'm going to show you guys examples. I have like 9 of my groups pulled up. I'm going to show you guys my actual groups so you can see them in action and how they actually work, because this stuff is very valuable and I want to be very, very thorough today, so I don't want to just like, I want to show the groups live. So with other Facebook groups, I'm going to pause here for a second. This is going to be quite long because usually I would just go ahead and run through it real quick, whatever. But you guys really want to learn this stuff because it's going to help you out. So IG, you guys know Reels. You know, I have a whole content agenda that we use for Instagram, right? For our big IG player clients. But that's not really the most important thing. It's kind of like a generic strategy, right? You're just posting 2 Reels a day, you know, every single day. You're doing live twice a week, and you're actually, you know, just keeping the content and storyline going on your story so people get to know you as a person, right? Keep in mind, like I said, I'm not a views guy. I don't get many views, but I make a lot of millions, right? So at the end of the day, you want to be able to go ahead and understand that it's not about looking at the people as views. You have to look at them as leads if you're in this style of business, okay? And this is why you could start doing solid numbers with no business, like Charles and so many people I've worked with, even if you have no actual baseline at first. So other Facebook groups, what you do, write this down, guys. These are SOPs that are going to get you free lead flow every single day of your life. And if you start doing it every single day, you're literally going to compound it, and what happens is you're going to start to see your groups have like 200, 300 people requesting to join. Okay, so other Facebook groups, let's talk about it. So let's say we are in the fitness space. We have a fitness program, right? One of my fitness companies, we literally just serviced Zach Wilson, the QB of the Jets, right? We did a lot of his nutrition back-end planning as well as his workout routine before the season started, right? So we kind of prepped him for the season. I don't think they won the Super Bowl this year, but I hope maybe next year. But you know, we crushed it for him, right? And one of the big things is realizing, how are we getting these clients? How are we getting in front of really big people who have lots of money? And maybe I don't have a lot of money to start. Maybe I don't want to spend money on ads, right? Even if we got, you know, cash flow, why would we want to utilize it if we could have a different way to bring in leads and then just use the cash flow to increase what's ever happening in that manner? So what you're doing in other Facebook groups is this. Write this down. You have a fitness company, okay? So let's say your offer is like $3,500 for 6 months or $6,000 for a year, whatever, just an example. Okay, but you have a good program. You have a good VSL built, okay? Which we'll also go through probably another time. There's a whole strategy for that. But let's say you have a successful fitness company, right? And you're just really, really passionate about fitness. And you love to go ahead and talk value. You love to go ahead and write copy about it. You love to go ahead and build systems around fitness, how to go ahead and you know, get slim, whatever, get big, whatever it may be. Okay, the bottom line is you're passionate about your craft and you're damn good at it. And you could talk about it. You should be going in other Facebook groups. And this is the actual SOP that I have my team do every single week. This is literally, what I'm showing you guys here today is how we operate beyond 6 figures. Okay, so 30 to 50 replies a day in niche-related Facebook groups. A reply is you answering a question to somebody. You answering a question, showing that you're a man of value, showing that you care about the client at the end of the day. What it is not is giving one-word answers, emoji responses. Be thorough and show the people that you care and you give value and you are there for the people. Okay, what's gonna happen here is these people are gonna read your comment, like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. And now that you have your profile set up like Justin does, right, people are gonna flow into your group when you have it set up like that because their pinned post has their group link there. With that being said, 30 to 50 replies a day, 30 to 50 comments a day, okay? And this is phenomenal for someone who's starting a brand new group. Let's say you're at 0 or 85 members. It's perfect SOP to start off to get lead flow in and quality lead flow. With that Hit me.
Ask really quick, so I'm assuming that's the approval. You make all your Facebook groups privatized, so you can just kind of.
Yeah, I'll go through, let me get through this and I'll hit you with this. I'm gonna go super detail, I got you, I promise. Okay. So yeah, we have the other Facebook groups. So we have 30 to 50 replies, okay, then 30 to 50 comments. A comment is just giving your 2 cents towards something. It's not a reply to a question, okay, just like someone posts, let's say they got abs in 8 weeks. Oh, very cool, you know, one of the best workouts that we like to go ahead and do with a compound breakdown of doing this and this and that. A very in-depth, your opinion, your 2 cents from your own peanut gallery, right? That's the thing. If you're doing 30 to 50 replies a day and 3 to 5 groups a day, okay, that are active groups, watch what happens, okay, when you set your profile up like mine. So let's go ahead and take that thought, pause there, okay, 30 to 50 replies, 30 to 50 comments, okay, and last piece actually is posting long-form posts that are valuable, 2 to 3 a day in other groups, but there's a big but here because you're gonna get kicked out of all the groups if you do it wrong, okay? You have to make sure that you're writing it like properly, okay? Whoever was doing marketing in 2015, 16, 17, you know the classic guy, jumps in the Facebook group, right? He puts up his post, he did $1 billion in an hour, right? And everyone wants to work with him, right? So what you want to do, and this is a very proper strategy for this, is you're upping the quality of the group with this post, which means you're going to go in there to groups that you actually have used before. And you're going to go ahead and say, you know, because they probably have helped you as you went ahead and built up consistency in your market, right? And it's important that you go ahead and give the group owners their props as well as the group their props. So maybe I'll start off a post like this. Let's say it's an e-commerce group, right? So I could say something like this. And I'll tag, let's say Bob and Smith are the owners. So I'll tag Bob and Smith. You know, this group has been an integral movement for my e-commerce success over the last several years. I don't think I could actually have gotten as far as I did without it. And that's fact. All these Facebook e-commerce groups are the only reason I stand here today. Seriously. Right? And what's important is letting them know that you appreciate the work. You're tagging the actual admin, saying thank you guys so much. Okay, and now it's your turn to go ahead and give back to those who are new to the group. What's happening here is, well, you're not soliciting. You're not going to go ahead and say, go ahead and send me a reply. You're going to say, please do not send me a reply. I want to respect the rules of this group because it deserves to be respected. Any questions, please comment down below. Okay, and that's what you're going to have happen here is the admins are going to like the post, they're going to comment on the post, the reach will go crazier, and next time you post, your post will do even better because you already got reach in that particular group. Facebook is not like it was in 2016 and 2017. You have to write for the people. Okay, you have to write for the people, and you have to make sure that you're putting proper effort toward the post because you're not going to post and hit 100% of the people. Maybe get 20 to 30% per post if you do it good. Okay, but if you have a smaller group, you get 100%. Okay, so that's Facebook groups. We'll come back to that later and we'll walk through how it works. But the main thing you guys want to understand about this traffic source is that those 3 SOPs I gave you, please have them written down and start utilizing them. It's going to help you out a ton. Okay, then YouTube, normal YouTube, Reels, Shorts, Shorts, videos, TikTok, live events, okay, doing live events on Instagram, et cetera, pushing towards your group, and paid media. This is my favorite, but you don't need this. You don't need this to make money with this. All the companies that I built from zero never had this. Never even had a penny put into the company at all, actually, okay? Only these pieces up there. But when you start to get good at what you do, right, and you're getting some paid media strategy going, you could drive it straight into the group. We're getting about $2 to $8 CPL, okay? Now, these are our traffic sources, okay? These are our traffic sources. Facebook profile, Instagram, other Facebook groups, YouTube, TikTok, live events, paid media. You could put Discord here, whatever you guys would like, you could put here, okay? Email list, obviously, SMS list, you guys get the point. This is the basics, okay? Now, with that being said, what you want to do here is when you have your group built, what are you going to call your group? Why are people going to want to join your group? I just launched a book 2 days ago. Okay, and 0 paid marketing, 0 paid media. I built a brand new Facebook group. I drove my people into the new group, followed this exactly. We sold literally 1,000 copies in like 2 days, right? Mind you, it's a cheap book, and we have like so many call bookings in the back end, right, to go ahead and work with us to actually implement this for them or help them implement this for them, right? That book probably is going to make us 7 figures, right? Now, just off that launch and the call bookings already, and what will come thereafter of the 20% residual and everything in between. Now, with that being said, okay, once we're driving into a group, I want you to understand that you don't have to have a big group, okay? And even if you're someone who's like, oh, like this group stuff, like, oh, I don't do groups, groups don't work. Like, I'm telling you, do this. It's going to be an extension onto your business that makes it more valuable. It grows in users. It's something you can sell, and it just makes your business worth more because there's assets to it, right? That's the difference. People want to buy things with assets. They want to buy community. They want to buy the people. So I want to get into how you'll also start acquiring these as well. Now, as you send the traffic to your Facebook group, okay, what's happening here is these people are gonna have to answer membership questions, okay? These members, this is basic shit here. I want to make sure you guys understand how basic this is because it works, okay? And we're gonna get more in depth as we get down here, and I'm gonna show you my groups as well. So, membership questions, right? The first one is basically, where are you at in, like, let's say you're in fitness. Are you seasoned? Are you brand new? Are you jacked? Are you whatever? Or are you successful? Or are you new to e-commerce? Whatever it is, ask the person where they're at. There'll be 4 options, right? Number 1 is like kind of like new. Number 2 is intermediate. Number 3 is the expert. Number 4 is like wizard, right? So you want to see where they're at. Number 2, you're going to ask for their email. Ask for their email. Now, one thing that I've done, okay, because I noticed a disconnect here. As I was And the third question is, do you want us to message you or not? Sometimes you put SMS, but I would recommend just putting yes or no to if you can message them or not. Okay, because this is where you're gonna make the actual conversation start. Okay, but when we're here, okay, in between here from membership questions and approval, right? So we have obviously what level they're at in the business, intermediate, expert, advanced. We have email, okay, and then we have, can we message you, showing you how we help our people out, yes or no, okay? Those are the 3 questions, simple. Everyone got that? Okay. Now, with that being said, in here, this portion right there, okay, what's happening is there's a software that I built called Groupified, okay? I couldn't run my groups without the software. You don't need the software to do it. It's just gonna make it way better for you and it's gonna work better because what happens is like if you have your membership questions in here and you have like 200 people joining or 3 people joining or 10 people joining, okay, and you have all these membership questions to go to, you're gonna copy the email, copy the information, bring it over to your CRM, put it in the autoresponder, whatever. Use Groupified, it's Groupified, Groupified.io, Groupified.io. And what it does is, typically when the email comes in, it's gonna send it straight to your autoresponder instantly, and you can approve everyone at once. And they add them to a 30-day email sequence as well as a 30-day text sequence, right? Because we need to have these people really nurtured. Want to know another name for Facebook groups? I call it incubator. Incubator, okay? Now, you really should get Groupified. It is my software. I couldn't operate my groups without it, so if you want to get it, you should. There's other softwares out there as well, but none as clean and smooth as mine. That's why I couldn't run my groups without it. I had to build it, and then after like 6 months, 8 months later, then I started selling it. Okay, now, with that being said, when the person's approved to the actual group, what happens here is, because we have Groupified, all the name, the email, et cetera, is getting sent over to our CRM. It segments it by what group they came from, okay, we have all their lead information right there. Next thing that happens is all that lead information gets sent over to the CRM, and it's now, because you're set up preemptively, as soon as someone joins, they get an email, okay? They get an email that says something like this. Hey, welcome to the community. Just wanted to go ahead and give you, an open hand to see what you have going on. You're welcome. Feel free to communicate in the group, chat. We have a great community here. And below, I'm going to put a call booking as well if you'd like to skip the line and talk to our team to see exactly what you guys are working on and see how we can help you out, okay? So immediately, imagine how many people from your Facebook profile, your Instagram, other Facebook groups, YouTube, TikTok, live events and paid media, you should be between $2 to $7 CPL, like I said, nothing higher, all driving towards your Facebook group. And all of this is niche down content. They're all people who are interested in what you're doing. Okay, so what's happening here is they're in the group, 3 membership questions, approve of direct message, Groupified sends it to the CRM, they instantly get an email as soon as they are actually admitted to the group, and a text. They look at their phone, they check out the group. What happens here is the next piece. Second, everyone's admitted, okay? And this is not only just a great way to build community and obviously have a community, but it's a great way to build lists, honestly. And it's a very, very non-invasive way too. Okay, so coming down here, messenger conversation, because as soon as the person is actually inside the actual group and they're admitted, we have our point man reach out. Saying something like, not a whole long message, blah, 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 blah. It's like, hey, just saw you joined the Empire Scaling group. Very smart. That's it, a one-liner. Okay, you're not fishing for leads. You're not being hitting up, hey, join my course. No, no, no. You're going to be very, very soft because the goal is to get them inside the group. And on average, from the second someone's brand new, we're getting 20 to 30-day lead times before they close on like a high-ticket package. Okay, now that's pretty crazy. Now, with that being said, the point man literally says that one-liner. You should just use that exact one-liner that I just said. That's exactly what we use. It's, hey, just saw you join the Empire Scaling group, comma, haha, very smart. It's literally what it is. I tested this long, drawn-out marketing copy style that I was writing, and I was trying to make it convert really well, and we're getting no responses. People leaving us on Reddit. I'm like, wow, they know it's automated, but it's not automated. I'm like, why do they think it's automated? It's not. I put together a message talking about our accolades, all the companies we work with, and I'm like, wow, these people, I guess it's not conversational. So we did a one-liner, and it's a crazy response rate. I don't know the exact percentage at this current time, but it's like more than half. Okay, other people are responding to you, other messages. Now, with that being said, think about it. Okay, you're getting into a conversation with every single person from these pieces that actually joins the group. What's important here is that you understand how to actually lead with value. Okay, you're not mentioning anything that you sell. You're not mentioning anything at all. You are just giving to them what's your business at, where are you doing, where do you need help. I would love to try to help you for free right now. Like, walk me through where you're at. Send a voice note. Okay, now let's talk about doing this at scale. Okay, we have 1,000 leads a day that we get for free using a system across all of our groups, and I'll show you guys. Okay, what's cool about it is I'm at the point where obviously I can't talk to every single lead. Okay, so I have that one-liner message that gets sent out. Okay, and I recorded a voice note that I want to say to my entire community of people joining. Right, and I have my point man go ahead and send out that voice note as the first interaction and say, hey guys, what's going on? Just wanted to come in here and say what's up. You know, I mentioned what's going on in the group and how we're excited to have them. And it's really cool because when you leave with a voice note after they respond to your initial outreach, I'm telling you, it works. Okay, with that being said, in the conversation, this is the set. You guys know, obviously, we all know what setters are, right? We set the call, right? Talk to my sales rep, the closer, right? Get them on the phone with the closer. Okay. What happens here is the prospecting questions. You want to create a script for your point man, okay, to do over and over again to qualify these people. One of the best things that I would do is your point man should be someone who's very lingual, who could type nicely, who's good with words, and they know how to talk to people because they're not selling here. They're just being the hostess to Outback Steakhouse, the hostess of the group. Hey, what's up, right? That's what's going on here. That was my second job, was Outback. My first one was Home Goods. Whew. Not going back. Okay, with that being said, okay, we have messenger conversation, the set, the prospecting questions. Write out the script tonight, okay? Everything that I'm showing you guys here, you can have live by tonight and getting leads like literally tonight, okay? So the conversation is gonna look something like this. Okay, so hey, thanks for joining the Empire Group. So happy you're joined, huh? They respond, oh, very cool. I saw you were doing some cool stuff. I wanted to join. Then my voice note hits. Hey, no, like, saw you were doing some cool stuff. Keep in mind to keep the voice note very general, so it kind of is a response to anything that's sent back. Okay, so you could say something like, no, for sure. You know, here at BSF, we have, you know, some of the most consistent results in the field. We love it, right? You're just walking them through a little bit of accolade work, but then you're starting to ask about their business. So maybe it would sound something like this after they respond to the voice note. Oh, no, for sure. I joined the group. I'm really excited to learn more. Your next message is going to be something like this. Absolutely. What do you have going on right now? Walk me through a bit deeper as to what you're working on. I'll see if I can lead you in the right direction. Okay, that's the exact wording you should use. Don't change it. Okay, now, with that being said, also, in the prospecting questions, probably on like the 15th or 16th message, this may not even happen the same day. Some people just say, oh, no, for sure, I'll check in after I check out the group a little bit. That's fine. What you're not trying to do is make this like a freaking honeypot of people just getting picked off to close them. You want to make this like they're straight up joining a committee because they are. Okay, the only reason my groups actually do well is because it's a community. Right? It's not because we're trying to go ahead and sell constantly. We're trying to build community and help people out and connect people together. Okay? And it just so happens that that's what sales are bred from. Okay? So in the prospecting questions, you know, you get to the point where they're going to ask about, well, how do I work with you guys? Like, what do you guys do? How do I rock with you guys? Like, what's up? And you want to say something like this. So what I'm going to say here is exactly what I want you to say. Okay? So keep in mind, what you say matters. Okay? It honestly does. What you say matters. If you guys know Dan Henry, I remember he said that, you know, a while ago, and I couldn't agree more. The guy is an absolute genius, right? And that's the absolute fact of the matter. What you say matters, okay? And with that being said, don't think you could say something like in longer form to make it sexier, right? But you're gonna get lower responses. People don't wanna have long conversations. They want like quick and short and, you know, quick fire. Now, with that being said, when it's time to drop the VSL, they asked about your offer. What do you guys do? How do I work with you guys? You can say this. Well, first and foremost, let me go ahead and do you a favor. I'm going to go ahead and drop a video down below. Do yourself a favor. Watch the video now. Watch the whole thing. And then when you're done, shoot me a message back, and we'll go ahead and take it from there. The VSL, okay, at the end of it has a trigger that says I'm in. Okay, they respond after they watch the video, I'm in. This is all SOP and everything. I have the exact VSL script that it's literally it's in my Instagram bio. It's like $5. I put the VSL script in there. Okay, so you can have my exact script. I'll probably just give it to Los after as well. Okay, with that being said, after you drop the VSL, okay, this is when you're gonna start to weed everybody out. And this is why you have to have really, really good response rates and response times. You don't wanna just be the guy that kind of lets them sit, okay? If your point man's letting them sit, that's not good. What we've done, I built a whole DM follow-up staff to where I have my lead of the follow-up team, and we have maybe 10 people underneath him, right? And we have shifts. We follow up with every single person, because my inbox with the messages is literally, right? And it never stops. It's all day long, because we're getting 1,000+ members a day in our groups. And what we're doing is we're messaging the leads, because they're joining our groups first. What's up?
So your point man that sends out the voice note, he's doing that through your profile.
So here you could do it both ways, right? So you could have a point man who's in his own profile, and his profile is branded as your company, okay? Or you could have him as be your ghostwriter if that's something that you want to do. You could do both. Let me tell you what works best in Facebook groups. When you're posting and you're sending out messages, the face or the admin is the best person to use, the best profile to use. Clear? Cool. Any other questions?
So when he's doing it from the company profile, before he drops in the voice note, does he say, oh, Justin has this voice note for you?
Well,
he doesn't say that.
That's the thing. Like, if it was going to be your voice note, it wouldn't specifically be someone else's profile, right? So you'd have to frame it differently then. It's all about how you frame it there. But what doesn't change is the SOP, right? I would recommend using your profile, giving access to the gentleman, right? And then having your voice notes that are really you being sent out, and he's just kind of the one pushing the messages. Okay. And what was your question again about over here?
Oh, it was keeping the groups private versus public.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing question. Okay, so even though it's a private group, it's still really public, because it's only private until we let you in. Now it's public, right? So the way that you set these up is as a private group. It's not as a public group. I believe I don't have any groups as public. They're all private groups. But the masses will get in as long as they fill out the proper questionnaire.
Yeah, I learned that pretty quickly. I started as a public group and then realized I had the first wave of 50 people and I wasn't collecting any data. So I changed it, I think Tuesday, to private. So I think it goes actually into effect today or tomorrow to be private.
Yeah, it takes like a day or two, something like that. But yeah, that's exactly the reason that you want to have it private, is for these questions, right? That's really the reason why.
Right.
Clear? Mm-hmm. Cool, good question. Okay, now, we have the messenger conversation. Hey, I saw you join the Empire Scaling group. Very good, very smart. Right? They start talking to them. What do you guys got going on? We drop the VSL. Okay, let's say they reply back to my call to action in the video, which is I'm in. Okay, what's gonna happen here is they're gonna say, wow, Justin, I just watched the video. It's awesome. Sounds like something that can really help me out. I'm in. How do we move forward? Or how can I talk to someone where I have 20 questions? Or I got to do it, 5 years from now, but I'm still interested. Right? So, okay. What you're gonna do is you're gonna have two options of the program, the VSL. Okay, I highly recommend simplifying your offer for this reason, for this funnel, okay? Because if you have two options of just 6 months or 12 months, that's the next step in the SOP. You could have 3 or 4 options if you really want. It doesn't really matter, but obviously the less options you have, the higher conversion, okay? Now, let's say it says, I'm in, how do I learn more? Your next message is something like this. Absolutely, Brody, very cool. Well, first and foremost, I'm happy you enjoyed the video, okay? What are you looking at? What option are you looking at? Is it the 6-month or the 12-month? Right, so then their next message back is going to be 6-month or 12-month. They're leading us down the sales process, right? They're telling us that they want to join, okay? And you'd be surprised. These people actually convert. That's the kicker, right? They convert. Now, they convert because look where they're coming from. These are good quality sources, right? So let's say you run a cold traffic ad, right? Let's say I'm running a $1,000 budget a day on a CBO campaign for lead acquisition, whatever. I'm trying to go ahead and drive people to my call booking page, and I'm going to go ahead and remarket them after because I pixeled the button, right? What's going to happen here is, you just sent all the traffic to that landing page, cool. But barely any of it converted. Maybe you closed 1 or 2 guys, right? Now, where are all those other people? Oh, they're in my retargeting. They're in my retargeting audience, right? What do you got to do to reach them? Spend money, right? You gotta spend money. Instead, okay, you should have a funnel that drops them in here, and then you could literally retarget your people all day, every day for $0, and honestly, it's way more authentic. Okay? Obviously, the caveat is there's not 100% reach in Facebook groups, but if you start to write properly, you could get like 60 to 70% reach in most groups. Groups below like 5,000, like 10,000 and less, you could probably reach the whole group, right? The groups I have are like bigger, so I don't reach the whole group, but I reach the fat part of the groups. What's up?
I was just going to say, theoretically, like your framework, of course, it can work on different platforms, like Discord or Slack or whatever else. Is there a specific reason why you stick to Facebook groups, or is it just because that's where like you?
Great question, because this is a framework that could, your hub could be like Discord. You set up the same kind of questions, but the thing is, okay, over the last several years, I've been using Facebook groups, one, and that's what I'm versed in, right? Two, I have a bunch of friends, right, who do the same model and make a lot more money, and they have a Discord and a Facebook group. I also have a Discord, right? And I know a lot of people who make a lot of money with Discord, but they don't have a Facebook group. So mainly and ideally, when you're running Facebook traffic and Instagram traffic, like it's just kind of like on the platform and not taking them off, and it's more or less on your computer as well, as is Discord too, but it's more of like a mobile app. People are going on their mobile most of the time, from what I've seen. So, I have a Discord too, and my buddies who do this also have Discords, but this is just better because the people are on platform. Cool? Cool. Any other questions, guys? Cool. Okay. Now, when they, respond, 6 months or 12, they're like, I'm leaning for the 6-month option. Most people, leaning toward the 6-month option. Oh, wow, this guy's interested. Let's keep talking. Let's ask him more. When he says he's interested in the 6-month, this is the response, okay? Because you always want to price the 6-month or the 12-month comparatively, so it's a Starbucks pricing model to where it's obvious you should go with the year, right? So everyone should go with the year, right? So the voice to that is, keep in mind, it could be a voice, it could be a text, whatever is happening in that portion of time. Keep in mind, you could have these voice notes pre-recorded in a library, right, if you need, and you could also go ahead and just literally hop in there custom. A lot of the time, my sales guys will hit me up, like, hey, this guy's really interested, he seems like a really good fit. I'll go in there, send some custom voice, learn about him, see what's up, and just be super personal about it, because that's how I like to run my businesses, right? I suggest you do the same, right? It doesn't really matter, the level you're at, you should still, try to go ahead and give your consumers, that type of value that started the companies. At least that's what I think, right? So we get to the billions of dollars. Now, with that being said, once they go ahead and say that, think of the 6-month option, you're going to say, got it. Well, the 6-month option is definitely phenomenal. A lot of people like to go with the 6 month to kind of get their toes wet or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think it's smarter to go with the year, right? A lot of people go with the 6 month, which this is true, by the way. A lot of people go with the 6 month. After a week of working with me, they see it's so amazing and they're doing so well, right? And they actually have systems and structure. Oh my God, Justin, can I go ahead and go for the year now, right? So can't be switching plans, okay? Can't switch plans. So whatever plan you go with, totally up to you. But I'll tell you what. Go ahead and drop your cell phone number down below, okay? I want to go ahead and ask you a few questions as well before we commit to this, because I want to make sure you're able to make this happen, you're able to dedicate yourself, and you're actually serious. Because I like to have my tribe filled with really hungry individuals who are actually trying to do well. So drop your cell phone below, and we'll go ahead and take it from there. You'd be surprised. 9 out of 10 people are dropping the cell phone after that message.
And this is all, you're doing all this conversation through like a Facebook Messenger?
Correct.
Okay.
In the profile, correct. So it's essentially a CRM for you now, okay? And that's why it helps to have a point man in there just to kind of keep things organized and to help drive the flow. Because keep in mind, this is an additional lead source comparatively to what you already have built. This is literally, if you have a business doing 100K a month, you add this on top of it, you might be doing 120K a month next month now, right? It's pretty damn cool. Now, with that being said, let's say they close, let's say we get on the phone. I don't want to go into the whole closer sales thing, right? All right, sounds good, he closes on the phone. Okay, what happens next is the following. Okay, there's SOPs in place to where the closer needs to obviously have a proper enrollment process, needs to obviously go ahead and realize that the client is probably from the group, right? So they want to reference these things in the phone. Oh, I saw you join the group. Where'd you come from? It's good for the closers to kind of like see where they came from, because then they could put a lead source in their commission sheet, right? And you could start to allocate a lot of your time and post to that proper group. So for example, I have 9 groups. My best group is one of my smallest groups, which is kind of funny, right? And so I'm prioritizing a lot of my time and effort posting in that group because of that data, right? So you want to make sure your closers get that information if they can and logging it as well. So if, let's say they join, they enroll, they're a good fit, we can help them out, awesome. Right, what we want to do is obviously put them into our paid client hub, which I'll show you as well. Training, then re-enroll. Okay, now here's if they don't close, and this is where the Facebook group really, really, really helps out. Because you're going to get people to join your offering and your program, and guys, the thing is as well, the whole key, like what you really need to make this work, is you really just have to have a great offer, and you got to be good at what you do, right? You have to literally make it so valuable. It has to be amazing. You sell them on something, and they're over the moon. It's 2 times as good as they thought, right? Like that's how you have to operate your business, and if you operate like that, you just under-promise and always over-deliver to the max, you'll get known for it. in my communities, in my groups, like everyone's always hashtag over-deliver, right? Because everyone knows me because I over-deliver to my people, right? And that's how you want to be, that's what you want, that's the most important piece out of any of this. None of this will work long-term if the people aren't getting results in the program, okay? That's the most important piece, as we all know. Now, let's say they don't close. Hey, it's a bit steep for me. Next message is this. You're not going to put the payment plan in the VSL. Okay, you're going to say something like this. Hey, got it. Well, those are the upfront options. I don't mind trying to hook you up and get you on a monthly installment plan. Is that something that would be better for you? Right? And that's literally the message. Okay, that's the SOP. And then you'll be able to go ahead and wheel and deal based off of your lowest pricing and if they're actually able to go ahead and afford working with you. Now, let's say, whatever, they don't close for whatever reason. Okay, we don't want to just go ahead and leave them unresponded to. We don't want to spam them and being desperate. Okay, what we want to do here is like, oh, cool. That's fine. We expect them to say no because they don't know what's about to come. Okay, this is the conversion right here. So what happens is we drive them to the Facebook group. I'm sorry, they're already in the Facebook group, right? You say, hey, I think your best bet for now is to go ahead and hang out in the Facebook group, soak up all the content you possibly can. Because keep in mind, guys, we're doing a 30-day media-wide content cadence. Meaning, when I say 30-day media-wide content cadence, I'm saying your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube, your Discord, everything for 30 days and in the Facebook group is putting out content. All the content externally is pushing toward the group. All the content internally is nurturing, going behind the scenes as to what you do, showing massive value, showing how good you are at what you do, showing how good you are at what you do, showing how good you are at what you do, okay? And showing how good you are at what you do. Right? And the next piece is showing how good you are at what you do by telling all your clients to go ahead and post the testimonials and results in here. What's going to happen is literally every single solitary person who joins, look, these are all good leads. We all know marketing. These are solid lead sources. These are good, except this one. Yeah. But, it's good for Shopify and e-commerce. Yeah. Now, with that being said, as we're driving people here, they're in the Facebook group, they're in the membership question, they just got a conversation, right? Maybe they hopped on the phone and didn't close. Oh my gosh, they had a touch point of the message, they saw your content, and they hopped on the phone with someone, and now they're seeing content about what you do, and they're seeing people post testimonials in the group. What the hell else do you need to join? What else is there? There's nothing else there, right? And let's not forget that we're also pushing 30-day email and SMS sequences as well as soon as they join, adding value to their journey, right? They're so prepped. And I was working with a company, the Panda Express client, and he was losing $5K a month, and he was running Google ads. And what he would get a consumer, and then have to wait 8 months for it to just this MRR to kick in, and he'd be profitable after 8 months. Like, holy crap, what? So we came in, and the guy's doing multi-6 a month now, which is cool. And what happens is he literally has a proper content cadence to where he's not doing silly things or spending money on Google ads or paid media. He's using this system and our content strategy. The guy has 600K on it from honestly, from 200 followers to 600K, 600K on TikTok, and he's huge in Vietnam. He's famous there. What he does, he coaches all of the Panda Express across the nation how to speak proper English. He's a speech pronunciation coach, right? And he has the contract with Panda where he teaches every single Panda across the nation how to speak English properly so they could take orders and stuff, right? So it's a big program. And the guy is very, very decorated, but his marketing, he was relying on paid Google media. And that's just not what you want to do when you're using a model like this. And now he's really just doing well because he's using this, driving traffic inbound, and his whole business is now a system, right? It's all a system. It's not sporadic. It's not to wait 8 months. Because like I said, this is 20 to 30 days of them first joining the group, even seeing anything about you, average lead time. Okay, which is better than 8 months for him. Now, with that being said, so as we kind of kick him back into the Facebook group, and we are putting out the 30-day media-wide content cadence, the whole point is obviously to build authority and drop content. Right now, like I said, the content you want to drop is live streams. You got to do at least one live stream a week at least, right? And keep in mind as well, all these little things and things that I'm mentioning, little SOPs here. Yeah, at first when you start a business, it's going to be you doing it, but at this point, my whole team operates my company, right? And I just do what I got to do, right? So yeah, it sounds like, oh, do this. I'm not doing all of that, right? I'm hiring it to my team, and I'm bringing on good people to do it. Okay, so same thing with 30-day media-wide. You're not going to be filming yourself unless you want to. I'm bad with camera, right? So I'll just stand there and talk, do what I got to do, and I'll show the behind the scenes. And I'll show, for example, in my newer group, I will probably go ahead, take this recording, and put it in the group about coaches, consultants, and because what's going to happen is like, this is hella valuable. They're going to see it. Oh, he's speaking to people. That's cool. And you're just walking them through the system, giving it all away. Oh, that's cool. It builds a good name, right? So any type of live stream at least once a week, media of you speaking and stuff like this, right? As well as, the most importantly, realizing that Facebook groups does best off of text-based content, okay? In my groups. I'm speaking from experience of my own groups, not me looking at someone else's group, okay? As of late, text-based has been much better. Okay, and what we're seeing here is text-based is getting a lot more engagement and it goes to the algorithm a lot quicker. So we have live streams. I would recommend doing one a week, text-based content, as well as just allowing yourself to genuinely put out 30-day media-wide content cadence, which is every single day. Okay, every single day something's posted. But let's talk about it like this. When you post every single day in a Facebook group, okay, keep in mind, we're doing the 30-day content cadence on these too. That's every single day. In your Facebook group, I don't expect you to post every single day. There's something that is known as like, you guys ever ran ads, obviously like ad fatigue, right? Algorithm fatigue in these groups. If you post like once, twice, every day, you're gonna start to get no reach in your own groups, right? So you have to really stagnate the posts. So meaning, we have a 30-day content cadence created, but we're not gonna be posting every single solitary day. Maybe we'll put out like a piece of copy, and then a live video the next day, and then a 24-hour like rest window. Just add a few 24-hour rest windows, and I don't care if you post back to back, okay? But what I've realized is if I'm posting like 4 days in a row every single day, it's kind of like the reach kind of just goes like that. So the best way to stagnate it and kind of keep it high is by putting fresh new content in. So if I did a text-based post, my next post is going to be a live, then it'll be a video, then it'll be another text post, right? So keep that in mind. Also, one of the best things to do in here as well is giveaways, okay? Give away iPads, give away MacBooks, right? Give away things that are going to help people in their journey. So if you're a fitness business, right, give away your fitness nutrition planning, like whatever it is, give away what's going to help the people commit to your offer. Okay, give them the tools to do so. Okay, with that being said, as you're putting a 30-day media-wide content cadence in here, what's happening, you're getting likes, you're getting comments, you're getting engagement. People are genuinely joining every single day, which is pretty cool. You want to have that same point, man. Check out the engagement. See who's commenting over and over again. Notice trends. You're going to notice trends. That's the biggest thing for me is like there's so many loyal people in the Facebook groups that like, I'm like, wow. Like I remember like 3-4 years ago, they were still commenting. That's so cool. That's so cool, right? And that's because it's a community, right? It's not a sales pitch, okay? It's not a sales pitch. And like, it's not a community like with a sticker that says community over a sales pitch, right? Like you're building a community and you have to really think of it like that. Like don't be so obsessed with trying to get the close. Obviously that's what we're going for, right? But get lost and love the process. Get lost in the process. It's fun to do and it's a long-term asset. What's up?
With those Facebook Lives, I'm trying to bring it back to like my industry. Would you consider bringing on like guests? Like so.
Oh hell yeah.
So like for me, like real estate, should I bring on like my CPA, or should I bring on an attorney, or should I bring on anybody like make it like a mini podcast? But just
100%, and those are the ones that do the best. Because what's cool is you bring in massive value, massive talent, and what you're doing on all these, you probably plan it out like a week in advance. You're just gonna push all the people. Hey guys, we're having so and so live. It's gonna be epic. Join the group. It's happening in here. What happens is you now spike the actual group joins from that event. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're getting your live, and you have a really good reason to push people into the group.
So you're making like, so in what you're saying, like let's say I'm making just a regular Facebook post and going, hey, like my CPA is going to be in the triple offer like group Thursday, going to be talking, it's tax season. Let's make sure we're being smart about what we're doing with our money.
Absolutely. So what you'll say is something like this. So hey, I'm going live my CPA. This guy has been managing my money for the last several years and is one of the integral reasons that I've been able to become so successful in the field. And what I want to do for you guys, I'm bringing him in. Okay, I'm bringing him in. So what you got to do, join the group below. It's the first comment. Join it now, and then go to the group and go to the event inside the group and RSVP. Right, so there's steps to it. So say, step 1, join group, step 2, RSVP. Best thing with groups and getting people to actually commit to these things, because the one disconnect that I see is like sometimes someone doesn't join the group. I'm like, oh, what happened there? So when you put out a post, the ending of the post needs to be very chronological and ordered as to the steps to join the group. So even if you're like putting out a post like that, at the end you want to put, 1, click the link below to join group, 2, RSVP inside group. And that's how you would conduct that.
I like it.
Cool, and one of the things as well, okay, when you're doing, this is huge, okay? I'll go to it later. So what we do, we call it a blueprint post. Okay, a blueprint post is a specific post that people want to get their hands on. So for example, if I, like me speaking here, is really, people want to watch, it's cool, right? So I'll probably take this, put it into on a back end of a funnel, right, have opt-in. And what I'll do here is I'm going to drop a post inside one of my biggest coaches group and say, hey guys, I just did a really awesome live event at Powerhouse. Spoke to some really awesome people. If you want to get your hands on the event, go ahead and comment below. Comment event below. And to your surprise, I'll just show you guys an example real quick. So you have a Blueprint post that looks something like this. Check this out. So this is literally like everyone's commenting care package, right? And what you can see here is 726 comments, okay? All the way from 9 hours. And this is an old, I feel like this is an old post, this is a year-old post. And what happened here is this is going to continue to get bumped up. And as you can see, the engagement here, 220 people, 726, and you put up a fresh one, you'll get the same exact type of movement. But what's important here is the following. You see all this engagement, you see all these comments? What you're doing here, let me show you an example reply. Okay, so check this out. You're putting a reply, and where it's taking you is to a lander. Okay, this lander, okay, specifically has a pixel on the page, okay, and it's also going to take them into a chat message. So it's connected to ManyChat. This is where you're going to create your alternate inbox. You have your profile, you now have your group, and now you're going to have your ManyChat Facebook page inbox. Okay, what's going to happen here is the following. Because you actually want to go ahead and drive people to this lead magnet, you're going to pixel them as soon as they click the button. And what's going to happen is as soon as they click this button, they're going to go into a just-in-wall page. Right? This page is only the leads that are from the Blueprint posts. Okay, which means I'm creating an alternate inbox of people who have engaged, because what's happening inside that actual ManyChat sequence, the first auto message that pops up is something like, hey, it's Justin, this is an autoresponder. Super happy that you got the asset. And on the bottom, there's a button that says download now. Right, so they're getting into the chat and they're downloading the asset specifically for their business or whatever it is, okay? Now, when they download the asset, they now have an asset, they're looking at what you've done, you're building more trust, you gave them something valuable, they're in your Facebook page, and what's important here is like you just gave them something, okay? Everything that you give them, on the back end, you gotta have a call booking link, okay? You have a call booking link driving to the actual call bookings. This is gonna get you call bookings on autopilot, okay? Which is super important. Now, with that being said, that was this piece I just talked about, okay? Lead magnet. So after the 30-day media-wide content cadence, how do you re-engage the lead, right? You re-engage the lead by dropping that lead magnet, which is what I just showed you, right? It was, that one was like the system I used to scale a brand 100K a month, whatever, some basic shit, right? So, because you have to realize who you're actually writing for. If you're writing for, let's say you're trying to land like Smoothie King, you can't be writing like you're trying to land like a $5 Shopify client. You gotta write with who you're trying to reach. Okay, that's the biggest misconception as well. Most people are just trying to put a post up just to get the post up. Spend time in the post. Write for the people, genuinely give value, and people like to read. And that's why, as of late, I believe the text-based posts are doing the best. Genuinely write for the people. Don't make it half-assed, like put out good value. Okay? When you drop the lead magnet, they download it, they get into the ManyChat sequence, and they obviously land in the Facebook page pipeline. What happens here is the conversation starts again, and you re-engage, and then begin to go ahead and get them on another call. Maybe they're ready at a later point in time. Okay? Now, what's important here is that we realize all of this works together. And one of the most important pieces as well, a post that you have floating around inside of the actual group. It's called a floater post. Okay, the floater post is going to be a post that just sits there. It's a really nice picture of you. Nice picture of you. For example, mine's like me. I think like holding like 6'2" commas or something like that, right? And it builds accolades, shows you're good at what you do, and it's a good nice picture. It's good to look at, right? So have a nice picture there, and the copy is going to essentially say welcome. You're giving them their welcome. Telling them everything you want to tell them. And at the end, you're going to say, for those of you who want to skip the line, okay, and speak with someone on our team now because you want quick. You want to take action or something like that, right? You go ahead and drive into the call booking below, okay? And obviously there's a whole DM team, follow-up team, closing team, setting team, and a whole process to keep these things organized, right? I'm just going through the system because I don't want to get anyone overwhelmed, right? But that's something else that we could go through at a later time, obviously, is how to build out the sales organizations behind this, okay? Now, with that being said, that floater post, every single day that someone joins, your point man is going to be tagging the person in that floater post. Meaning every single person who joins the group, okay, is going to be tagged in the post. Meaning they're going to see it, and I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to skip the line and book a call, and you're going to get constant call bookings every day. Even if you only have a group of like 1,000 people, it works. Like you probably get a few a day, not constant. You get constant when you have the big groups. Okay. Now, with this being said, okay, if you have a business that's doing well and it's actually driving revenue, this is something that you could literally implement like tonight and see good movement with tonight. Keep in mind, this is an asset to you. This is not going to make you $1 billion in one day. This is going to be an asset to your business that's going to add a different sort of community, consumer support, as well as the ability for you to go ahead and enroll people at a higher rate and an additional lead source. Okay? And what's also happening here is you're really, really peppering your remarketing audiences. Because when you start to go ahead and run all this without any paid media, when you turn the remarketing on and you drive it straight to the group with a funnel that drives literally into the group, you're getting $2 to $7 CPA. The people who aren't in the group yet will join the group. And you can remarket people who have actually clicked on the lead magnets for certain call booking links and things of that nature as well. So this is huge. Be sure to start remarketing, okay, after you go through all this and you start to use all of this, okay? Now, let's jump into one of my Facebook groups. So I'm going to show you guys the actual flow of how this works, okay? So I'm going to show you all these different groups. Check on the top left. You guys see that? No. Top left right there. It says 43,000 people, okay? This one says 139,000 people, right? So this one says 104,000, 153, 111, 60,000, and then this one is only at 2,000, okay? And this one's 300. Let me go ahead and walk us through it a bit deeper. So this group right here has made 8 figures plus alone, right? This group, it's one of the smallest groups. You wouldn't think it makes the most money, but it made well past 8 figures, okay? With that being said, the reason, this is outdated, but the whole piece is, this is not the biggest group, okay, but it's middle of funnel. So let's talk top of funnel. Let's reorder these groups for a second, okay? Let's move this here, this here. What we're doing, okay, is we're using our top of funnel groups. Okay, these huge groups, take a look at this. This is my dropshipping for beginners group, right? It grows, pretty significantly every day. We get about 100 leads a day off this one. My my approval guy already went in here and approved everyone for the day. In my inbox, you'll see just constant message of the same copy and paste from the people who have joined the groups, okay? What's super cool about it is this one, okay, you wouldn't believe. I'm going to tell you guys some crazy stuff right now that I don't bring up really ever. Okay, this is a top of funnel group. This is a top of funnel group. This is a middle of funnel group. And this is a bottom of funnel group, right? So everyone in here is paid like $8,000 to $10,000, right? Or is on a monthly plan to go ahead and pay more than that, okay? This is our e-commerce program. We have some of the most consistent results in e-commerce to date. We have one of the best programs ever created in e-commerce as Beyond Six Figures, which is pretty badass. Been doing it for, I think, 6 or 7 years, just the e-com program alone, right? And it's cool because when you actually are consistent and you pull up every day and your people get results and you have good systems and great enrollment and great support system, you build a really great name in the field, right? And you could start doing this over and over and over again with different offers, okay? So I was never supposed to figure any of this out. I literally was just I was good at e-commerce. I built, like I said, I was doing this since I was 14. I had a bunch of successful e-commerce brands. I've done 8 figures plus in that myself, okay? And I realized, wow, like I'm making a lot through BSF right now, which is kind of cool, but I didn't even realize what BSF was at the time. I just built a Facebook group, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna build a Facebook group. I went ahead and started posting my results in all these other Facebook groups, just flexing my screenshots when I was like younger, right? And I thought I was cool, right? So I was getting a lot of people, literally, I thought I was the man. And then I started to realize, oh, wow, I'm getting lots of messages and people hit me up. I'm like, okay. So I built a system and structure out of it. And I was doing this for so long, I just never knew it. Never knew it. I was just doing it because I just thought that's how I would enroll someone to a program that I built. And mind you, like, it's been a while since I started doing this stuff, guys. And I've been running this stuff for a minute now. I think I started one of those groups in like 2016, right? Which is really cool. But that's not to get it confused with, oh, well, he's only good at it because the groups are old. He's been doing it for a while. I digress. Let me show you. I just launched a book 2 days ago. This group had 0 members in it not too long ago, okay? And what we did is with all of our groups, our lists, our email, our Instagram, everything, created a book, 150 pages. This is my buddy, Nick Peroni. We own this group together, right? It's funny because he originally owned the group back in the day. We partnered up, and then we made millions together. And now we're really good friends. And we wrote a book together, right? And it doesn't have to be a book, okay? It could be anything, really. But something that's just so valuable that you're going to join the community. So what's going to happen here is you're going to write a book or do whatever you got to do, okay, and create a brand new group. you could link, this is the most important piece as well, you can link all these groups together to actually have better priority in the algorithm, meaning your groups are now going to be being pushed by Facebook on the sidebar, which is getting you qualified people without you spending $1 on top of you doing everything you've already been doing. What's cool about it is when you actually go ahead and have the access point in here, there's a really, really good effective way to get people to drive into the group for a good reason, okay? And because of the book, we got about 2,000 members in here, and we sold nearly half of them within the first 3 days of the book, okay? With that being said, the book is fucking fire, excuse my French, okay? It is. If you want, it's $5. It's a link in my Instagram bio. It's ridiculous, and go through that funnel and hack the funnel verbatim. Hack it, use it for when you launch an offer, like a low-ticket offer in this community, okay? And it's gonna do well. It's $5, but the average order value is like 60 to 70 bucks. Now what I'm doing is I'm getting my ad creatives made. I'm gonna go ahead and launch this, and if I'm getting a $50 cost per acquisition, I'm still good. But I'll probably get 20, 30, right? Which means I'm making money in the front end, and I'm selling the book, and I'm taking it through funnels, and they're realizing how much value we have, and they're landing on the call, and they're joining the group, and it's all because of this, right? So with that being said, the last piece I want to bring up here, don't get so caught up in your vanity metrics. Don't get so caught up in the reach, the views, all that great stuff, because I'm telling you, in Facebook groups, like 80% of the people are watching, they're not commenting or liking. I'm telling you. Okay? And that's one of the biggest things. If you're not getting engagement, people are like, why the hell am I even doing this, right? But there's people in the group, you want to take a look at your active members in your group, and that could kind of help you understand how many people are actually engaging. But with that being said, okay, if you have a brand new group, you should come up with an asset like a book to go ahead and launch and send your people to it. You need to start working this into your actual business infrastructure, because this is literally free money. It's going to make your clients happier. It's going to build you a better name, and it's going to give you the spotlight to be the main individual in that group, right? Which makes it so much easier to go ahead and enroll a client, right? And it's just really, really cool because you have so many client successes. Where do we freaking put them all? Let's just put them in the group. Let's put them all in the group, right? And that's what we've been doing for the last 7 years. And it's a autopilot machine. You do good work, you get results, you put it in the group, and it just literally constantly compounds, because as you put results, people see it, people join, people get results, people see it, people join, people get results, right? It's literally a wheel. Okay, with that being said, one of the last things I want to showcase to you guys is this group right here, okay? I bought this one, okay? I bought this for $75,000, and what's cool about it is it makes cash flow every day. It's like a rental property. One of the things you could do as well, it's also against Facebook terms of service to acquire a group, so realize that as well, okay? You don't want to be actively buying groups and advertising that you bought it, okay? With that being said, if you approach group admins, you could hit people up and they don't know what their group is worth, okay? For example, this particular one, I got it around 8,000 members because what I saw was the aggressive growth numbers. If I'm seeing 1,000 people joining the group a week, like the algorithm loves this. Maybe it's the name, so.
How are you tracking that if you're not obviously the group person that's getting all the analytics?
Before you even joined, you could see that they're growing 1,000 a week or however much they're growing a week before you even join the group on the outer skirts of the group. So let's say like you're looking at a Facebook group if you want to acquire it, whatever. Remember, you're not supposed to acquire groups. So what you're supposed to go ahead and do, okay? Yeah. With that being said, you could see the numbers from the outside. That you could see it. So that's how I know what groups I want to buy. So if I see the group growing heavily, you don't even have to be in the group. You could just see this. It'll give you the stats on the outer page. And then if I see aggressive growth, okay, I hit the guy up, hey brother, what's going on, man? We should develop like you're not actually acquiring, you're not actually buying it. You're just creating some sort of partnership. So, make it so it's a proper transition under Facebook terms of service. Because even though they're never going to go ahead and look at it, you never know at Facebook, so you just want to be totally on the same page. So you did it properly in case you need to show it. Yes, I acquired it through a transition, not actual buying it. With that being said, okay, at the end of the day, whatever transaction you choose to do, this guy acquired the group, right? At 8,000 people, I knew it was going to run up to this. 140,000 people. That was 140,000 leads injected into my system, literally into my system. Mind you, 100% of the leads are not quality to close, right? I would say about 50 to 60% of the leads are going to be really, really high quality, okay? Now, with that being said as well, when you have these large top of funnel groups, you could start pushing to your other groups and tagging to the other groups. That's one of the big hacks, is realizing that when you tag any other link in a Facebook group, Facebook will de-rank you because they don't like external links, but not when you tag your group or a different Facebook group. okay? So I'm using, for example, this group. I'll go in here and put up, look, this is, we just uploaded all these videos to our guides and units section. Check this out. So when people are in here, they're getting value and whatnot. This is top of funnel, and then we're putting out a post and driving them to the middle of funnel group, which is our main group, Beyond Six Figures with Justin Wall here. Okay? So what I want you to realize is the ascension model and the customer journey that happens throughout this entire process. So you could get more leads into your group by using other groups and also having other groups as well and putting out value posts in that manner. So with that being said, guys, okay, this is the system I want you guys to follow. Are there any last minute questions? Okay. Now, what I want to leave you guys with, okay, is I want you guys to genuinely try this. I want you to try it. I don't want you to spend any money on it. I don't want you to spend $1, okay? I want you to play against yourself and see if you could go ahead and create money out of thin air using this system exactly how I said, okay? And then when you go ahead and make money, what you're going to do is you're going to take that money that you made off it, that's going to be your retargeting budget. You're not going to spend $1 more than how much you make. You put it right into the retargeting budget, okay, and you're going to start to scale the group ads. Okay? You're going to make it so you're only spending money on the group that you make from the group. Okay? And that's one of the things I like to do with newer clients who are brand new, right? If someone is already doing, 100K, $1 million a month, whatever, okay? They could instantly just implement this and do very well, right? And obviously put money into it, start doing retargeting instantly, bringing people to the group, cold traffic and whatnot as well. But with that being said, guys, that is the whole system. I wanted to kind of give you guys the nutshell of it. There's a lot that goes into like the sales training and like the DM team and the setting team and all that, but that's like a whole nother like 6-hour thing. So this is the system. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for listening. And if you have any questions, just ask, okay? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
I just have one quick question, because I know that you said this is primarily for like info products and stuff like that, right? Or courses, agency services.
Minimum take like $500. Like anything that costs $500 and needs a lead.
So have you utilized Facebook groups for like actual e-com stores, and what's your experience been with that?
Yeah, so it's best for big brands, right? If you're just starting off brand new, like you could still do it, and it'll do okay, but you know the type of people. It's not going to be like flourishing and big community. Right, I mean, where you guys are at, doing well, this is something that you should absolutely implement, because it's not only going to make better actual consumer support, it's just going to build more community. And then, for example, let's say you guys have like special offers or you're considering doing things, instead of like spending money on ad and paid media to go ahead and test out these offers, you just drop it in the group and you see what one does the best. Right, so that's a great way to gauge offers without having to spend money on them as well. But it's phenomenal for physical product brands as well. And I know a few people that also are doing this system with their physical product brand, right? And it's not like, the whole point is not to drive like, oh, we're making $1 million a month from the group, but it's like enhancing the experience. We're driving extra people in there, and it is making sales. It makes really good, consistent sales. It's just not going to be something that you can kind of control and turn up and down like ad spend.
I think the biggest thing for us has been, we've heard of some people using it. Like I think Ezra does it.
Yeah, Ezra's he hit me up 2 days ago. Like he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like literally, he's a dope. Yeah, he's a goat.
For a minute.
OCU, Zipify.
Obvi, you know Obvi?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so they also do it, but those are like high LTV brands, I guess. So I guess when you don't have a high LTV brand, it's a little bit more tricky.
Exactly, and if you're just kind of like getting into like the world of really driving MRR as well, right? This is a great place to keep MRR high, because people are constantly in the loop. They're seeing you pop up on their Facebook feed. There's just more brand equity there. Right, so this just adds so much more of like a substance and DNA to what you're doing that just kind of expands the overall mission of the brand, right, which is super cool. But yeah, primarily this works best for like $500 ticket and above, which I assume that a physical product is like below that. Yeah.
Just a more personal question. Have you been with Ecom Empire since 2016, like since it started? Or
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like literally what kicked off our whole thing. Like we were one of the first members.
No freaking
That's
way.
crazy, man.
No
Small
way.
world. I had no idea. It was
I'm
you.
gonna tell Nick that right when I leave here.
That's crazy. Man.
That's freaking
I
sweet,
knew
man.
about Nick, but I didn't know you were part of it.
Yeah, no freaking way. Well, there you
Fucking
go.
nuts.
There you go. Cool stuff.
Crazy.
Cool.
Did you go over acquiring pages?
Slightly. So yeah, I'll kind of break it down for you. So keep in mind, it's against Facebook terms of service to acquire pages. All right. But you could have a transition. Maybe your buddy gave you one, something like that. Maybe you gave him something that made him give. Who knows? But when you get that page, the most important thing, and I don't think I covered this hard enough, is linking the page. So if you have, I have all these groups on the back end, like 9 separate groups. I have them all linked together. Through the back end settings, it says linked groups. Okay, when I have all linked groups together, what's happening here is if I acquire a huge one, and I have all my other big ones, and all of my other top of funnel, middle of funnel, whatever, they're all connected and linked, which means that when one person joins any of the groups, now, instead of just joining, there's another button that comes up that says join all the groups within one button. So I'm getting the person in 9 of my groups instantly, right? And even though I don't have 100% reach on every group, I've got these people in all the groups, so I can post here, post here, post here, reach everybody. Yeah, which is cool. And one of the things as well, it's important to have good groups that have lots of engagement and active community, because when you have the link groups in the back end, that's going to have your groups pushed organically on the sidebar. And that's a whole nother lead source of leads that Facebook is. It's literally groups lookalike audience version, right? And they're pushing the audience to your group. So when you acquire or you get a group and you have a network of groups, make sure they're linked behind the group. So they're connected. It's in the settings. You go to settings and then click link groups.
So as far as these Facebook pages that we can't buy, is that something that, is that a workaround or is it not? Just start from scratch?
I would recommend going from scratch because you just have a better overall algorithm and better reach on the post anyway.
Okay.
You know, so start. And the thing is, like, it's funny because my smallest group, like in the last 2 days, made more money than any of the groups, right? Obviously because of the book launch. But the whole thing is to realize is when you have a really like a brand new group, that's going to be pushed to the algorithm more. Here's actually a fun fact for everyone here. So my smallest group, the book launch group with 2,000 people, since it's newest, and I just actually linked it up to all the back end of the groups, we're closing like 70% of the high ticket deals from the outreach from that group, right? Because we're driving people to that group, obviously, but also just higher quality people because the algorithm, it's a new group and the algorithm is pushing it more. I'm seeing it grow pretty aggressively for a small group, you know, and I'm not doing much marketing pushing to it right now after the book launch.
Are you using the book as a way to entice people to join the
Correct.
group, like a discount or a free?
Correct. So
offer or
I don't just like write books. Like that's my first like book. It's a good book. It's solid. I don't just write books, but like maybe I'll start. You know, because of the result that I saw. But yeah, it could be anything. The thing is, the most valuable thing that I thought of, I'm like, well, like I need to write a book. I've been putting it off for the longest time. So I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna write a book, and that's gonna be my lead magnet. And it was very strong, right? And and here's actually a good tactic. You guys should do a book too, because in the book, obviously there's call, book, and links throughout, but I have it laid out where they have to follow the book in a step-by-step order to get the full experience of the training, because it's like Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. It's not just like a book about my life. It's a book about like doing this. And throughout it, I have my group software, as well as the group software and the VSL. Okay, so as they go through it, there are instructions. Hey, okay, like I'm gonna give you an example of a perfect VSL. Go ahead and watch it now. Okay, and then come back here when you're done watching it. It's the VSL for the program or for the operation in terms of how we could scale that company for them, right? For those specific leads. So they're watching the actual VSL as a training. By the end of the VSL, like, oh my God, like this guy Justin offers a sick experience that could probably like really scale my business, right? So then as it gets back to the book, all right, now that you read the VSL, continue moving. And then it pushes, and then it opts for the software, right? Because it completes the system. So use the book as a way to get them to watch your video sales letter without pushing it down their throat. That's another good thing you could do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
So with that, are you sending them to the actual sales page with the VSL, or sending them to a sales page that's just the VSL?
Sales page with a VSL. Okay, because the whole thing is like we have a template that we use for all of our VSLs, right? It just says what the offer is, you know, and it's really good if you have guarantee offers. Like for example, if you have a fitness offer, like one of our new offers for a company we have called Transform You is we'll hit your goal weight guaranteed, or we'll work with you until you do, right? Which is cool. So setting up offers like that is super unique.
So just to reiterate on that, so it is the actual sales page you're sending them
Yeah,
to?
it is a sales page because you could send to a Vimeo page, but you don't really want to do that. You want to have, and actually I did a $15,000 Tony Robbins scale conference. I learned some cool stuff from there actually, and it was pretty badass. I highly recommend it. I forgot what it was called. But one of the things that they mentioned, and I implemented onto my funnel and it worked, was VSL at the top, right? Normal VS, I'll show you them. Yeah. So it's a VSL, if you go to justinwall.com, go to empirescaling.com, and you'll be able to see my VSL. But what it is, that's the landing page, okay? VSL, and then on the bottom portion, what they said at Tony Robbins' conference was people want binge-worthy content, right? So I had like photos and like videos, but they want like 3 to 5 minute videos on there that they could just, at night, 4 o'clock in the morning, they're thinking about what they want to do. You want there to be content for those times, for those 4 a.m. nights where they're going to wake up and hit you up at 8 a.m. like let's roll, right? So you want to go ahead and really push out content in that manner. So I would say 3 to 5 minute videos on the VSL below is really good.
And those, would they be hosted on like Vimeo or something? So
Vimeo.
people can't escape? Yeah.
Yeah, Vimeo. Those are
What was it? Empire what?
empirescaling.com.
This is Justin Wall, W-A-L-L.
OLL.
Oh,
Yeah, my Instagram is at Justin WOLL. And the book is also in the bio there. Any more questions, guys? Anything at all? You guys, what do you guys think? Sweet system, right?
Yeah. I'm a little confused on like what you would use for a middle funnel. I understand a top one and I understand an elite one. Is it like you have like say like a coaching client in the middle and then you have like a mastermind at the end, or sorry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a $5,000-$8,000 thing.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Because like, for example, we have 100K packages, right, for big companies, big brands. We'll have 5 to 8K packages for people who are just getting started and want to learn and not just be screwed over by some idiot, right, want a real program. And the tiers as well. So think about the tiership of the groups like this. So you have your top of funnel group, let's call it the Dropify, the 150K group I had, right? So we have that, we're going live in there, we're dropping content, giving value in there, and all we're doing, we're not call to actioning them to the sales page, we're call to actioning them to the middle funnel, right? Because that's where the high quality leads are. Because this 150K person group, it's good, but it's not the best. It's not my best quality per capita. So what I'm doing here is I'm using it as top of funnel, but I'm not really putting much call to actions other than driving them to my main Beyond Six Figures group, which is the group at 45K people. The reason there's 45K people in there, not 150K, is because these are the hottest, best quality individuals out of all of these sources, right? So we'll drive there, and this is where we're talking about the program a bit more, going a bit more in depth, going behind the scenes on the companies and the businesses and stores that we run, right? Things like that, kind of showcasing the behind the scenes of your biz or your workout routine or whatever it is that you're doing, right? Behind the scenes.
More into the strategy.
Exactly. And then when they sign up, they get put into the bottom funnel, which is really just the paid hub, right? Where you re-enroll, and you should build the structure out to where these people are achieving their goal in record time for themselves, and then there's real incentive and reasoning to keep staying on the experience, right? Because they're either, it's making them money, it's dumb to get off, or there's a whole nother, like for example, the first 6 months of our program, we'll do like just getting the business up, like scaling it, like 20, 100K a month, and then the next 6 months is branding it, right? So kind of break it into tiers as well. Answer your question?
Yep, sure did.
Cool.
Thank you.
And so with that middle of funnel one, those are like DIY people or done with you. Pretty much they spent a few grand with you, 500 to a few grand already.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you'll have higher ticket offers, but at first, like don't get so caught up in like trying to ascend them down like a funnel of offers. Just build a community, build an offer that they want to buy, and then when you realize, all right, these people are buying this offer now, then you can get fancy. Then you get fancy. I wouldn't get fancy at first, right? Because it's going to kind of just do the opposite. But keep it simple. Remember, simplicity, and consistency. That's all that is, simplicity and consistency.
And then last question in terms of like, do you use the learning modules in the Facebook groups where you have specific videos?
Oh
people
yeah,
to watch them and
I
all
didn't bring that
fun
up.
stuff?
So good point. So guys, listen to this. So you have a guide section inside the Facebook group, okay? Let's say you don't want to go ahead and write a book. Put all of your content and your videos. The thing is, the book is just going to do better. But if you want to just be lazy, you could do it this way. Okay? You could go ahead and put all your videos. Let's say you have like 15 modules in your training for whatever it is. You just put them directly inside of the actual group. What you're not doing is pulling from your paid content and your paid content that people paid for. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your stuff separate because you want to respect your clients. So you're going to shoot brand new content or content that's never before released and put it in the unit section. And now your groups are now a free course, a free training, a free bootcamp, whatever it is, free walkthroughs of everything, or a system hub, right? So you can push people into the group. We have all the systems within, just join the group, right? So yes, we're absolutely using the unit section. And what you saw before, I had my guy Arvin, one of my point man, upload to our Dropify group all the specific new videos and different types of content. So you absolutely want to use that, and you want to encourage people who aren't paying on the phone, hey, go in the group and go in the unit section and go through every single video. And the video should be formatted in a way where it takes them from top of funnel to wanting to work with you.
Cool.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
The recent group that you launched with the smaller number of members doing really well definitely makes sense because you're pushing them from your other groups where people already know you, they trust you, then they go to this group for the book launch, right?
100%.
Have you had clients of this system in the last 12 months where it's like they've started off with the 30 to 50 replies, built groups from scratch more recently and
Yes.
still kill it?
Yes. So it's funny. Paul Van Sprundle, which is an e-commerce client of mine, he joined the e-commerce program. He built 3 brands to 100K a month in my program, like in 4 months, right, using the systems. He's like, yo, holy crap, Justin, like, I want to join your other offer. This is sick. So he did, and had nothing, built nothing at all, and now is making like, I think 20 to 50K, I don't know the exact, 20, 50K a month in his offer now from zero, from scratch, from nothing. Also, did it, like the guy I mentioned before, Rishi, right? He is a funding guy, no assets, doing the same exact thing. Also, Charles, he joined my econ program as well. He did very well. He's like, yo, let me join your other thing. I'm like, all right. And then he doesn't have skill, like he has a skill, but he didn't have any like thing he wanted to teach. So I'm like, all right, what are you good at? So I could code. I'm like, say less. We just built a coding operation using that, and he's closing $15,000 deals for coding from scratch, from zero, just using the Facebook replies into the group. So yeah. And that's why it's so cool, because like it's not just reserved for people who are doing millions. It's reserved for the people who are brand new, people who are just trying to get a grip on the business. And this is a phenomenal way to start a business, a phenomenal way to actually build a community, build an asset, build something that's sellable, right? And ultimately, understand that this is something that people just genuinely, understand at the end of the day because it's Facebook.